Hello once again, good afternoon, and welcome to another exciting episode of Achtung Cthulhu. So good to be with you this fine Tuesday afternoon, Chaos Course, and so good to be surrounded by the best damn cast of role players I have ever worked with. Always enjoy these shows, and this one I think is going to be particularly spicy. Unfortunately, Charlie could not be with us today, so we're going to be playing Person Down today, but we will persevere, and we shall push on, and as Lydia just said in Tunnel moments ago, kill some Nazis, or be killed by some Nazis. We will see. I am your game master, Colin, at COLINOMICON on Twitter and other places, and I am joined tonight by four fantastic role players. I'd like to start, I normally start up in the corners. I'm going to do something different this time. I would like for everyone to go around, introduce themselves and who they are playing tonight. I always say, what are you looking forward to? But I think for something different, just give me a fun fact about your character. Something that maybe hasn't come up in conversation yet, but something, some interesting, weird little tidbit about them. I'm just curious. So I'm going to start this time down at the bottom left-hand side with Lindy. Good afternoon. Who are you, who you playing, and what is something about them?
Hi, I'm Lindy. I'm playing Helen Phillips, who's not the spy. And
The fun fact is she's not the spy.
Fun fact, she's not the spy. She's a sniper from New Zealand who's been stationed here, and it's a bit weird of a group makeup for her because she's the only actual military person, and she's kind of adjusting, but she's still not really sure what she's supposed to do with that. And fun fact about her, besides her love of sheep, is that when she was in Italy, she was stationed with her childhood sweetheart.
Ooh. Oh, that's good. Interesting. There's something to suss out. I'm very curious about that. We may have an entire episode dedicated just to this plotline. That is very, very interesting. Huh. Did you put that in the message you just sent me, Lindy?
Is that in there? That's in there, yeah.
Jeez. Oh, it's the last line. Yo, wow. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Takes notes and sharpens plot daggers. Okay. So let's go clockwise. So let's go up now to Kate. Kate, good afternoon. Who are you? Who you playing? And what is something we don't know about your character?
Hello, everybody. I am Kate, actors of the work, or Kate Madison here on Twitch. I play Mabel Smith, who's very British, and she's the engineer slash vehicle person of the group. We have yet to give her much to do except desperately try to fill the oil on her vehicle. She really wanted to do that. And I'm looking, well, I'm not going to say what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to surviving, but we'll see if that happens. A little tidbit about, I'll give you two. She has two brothers, both of which are in the army, and they are one's in the Air Force, one's in the army, and she sort of followed them into the war in a way. And another tidbit, she collects Welsh love spoon things because I think that'd be fun.
I love
she
those.
Collects what? I feel
Welsh
like
love spoons.
There are spoons that have designs on they're sort of carved spoons, and they're kind of, I think they're known as love spoons. I think they're kind of Welsh in origin. And yes,
I had one on my wedding bouquet because I'm from.
Oh yes, you did. That's right. I think that's why I was thinking about it. But yes. So we she has a little collection of those.
It. Oh, those are really pretty. Huh.
Yeah. I was just like,
interesting hobby.
That would be a fun thing. There you go.
Oh, that's adorable. Does she keep
she
them
has one on her, a little keepsake one that she maybe got from her dad.
Now that
Let's say
again
that.
takes notes. That will come up at some point.
Oh.
Welsh love spoon. She like keep like a curio cabinet display of these at home or something? Like are they like
Yes, I think she
conversation
has. She has a little. Yeah, she has a little sort of sort of thick framed, window frame thing with. Let's say she's got 9 at the moment. Although the 9th one is on her, but she has 8 currently. But she's always looking for more. Although she's not in the right place for them really, but she's.
Yeah, you're probably not going to find any around here, but.
No, but she loves spoons in general, I think. But the love spoons are like special.
If it's important to you, I will find a way to get her one at some point. If we get 69 retweets, no, just kidding.
Is this? That's the joy of yes and. I was like, ooh, this.
Hell yeah, maybe for a boon.
No, it's giving me an idea. I've now got one on me.
Yeah, wow, Mabel, you delightful cinnamon roll. I adore Mabel. All right. To my right, someone distinctly less cinnamon rolly. Kat, playing Judith. Sorry, I'm giving away your spot. Kat, who are you playing? What are they about? And give us something we don't know about them.
All right, let's see. So I'm Kat at CLERICOFKORD, and I am playing Judith Gold, who is an OSS SOE operative and has been for pretty much most of the war, at least since 1941. I'm trying to think of what don't you know? She dropped hints pretty much everywhere about her. Trying to what? One of the things that she's taken up. She started working as an operative was knitting. It's a what's the word I'm looking for? If looking
is it like
a
calming thing? Oh,
it's calming for her, but it also is a way of giving her something to do with her hands that makes her blend into her surroundings. She can just pull out knitting and look like any farm wife, any widow, whatever that is in the area, because that's socks, scarves, whatever, and she's probably used a few as encourages. As a way of passing messages. Just a quick piece of knitted cloth. It's kind of her own little signature thing.
That's cool, though. Encoded messages in like crochet and knitting. That's
and her knitting
clever.
Either in the pattern or something like that. That would make sense. I mean, if you can put in stars and moons to be dots and dashes, somebody like Verity would obviously find it, but somebody who's good at that, but for the most part it would tend to go unnoticed.
I could even see a thing where like the loops where like the loops of the knit. Am I doing that? Yeah, like you could, if you do different colors, you could do like binary in it and encode messages that way and stuff. It's almost like an analog computer made of wool.
She's taken up knitting, and it's one of those things that she now really enjoys. Again, she finds it very soothing and very calming. Doesn't always do it for send messages. It's just sometimes it's nice to pull out some of her knitting, and I think on this mission she's kind of missed that, having the opportunity to just kind of sit down and just do that.
I hope that before this is over and before anyone dies, you get to at least knit one of your comrades a scarf at some point. It's also cold, and it is winter. Also, Kate, are you drinking out of a butterbeer glass?
Yes, I may be.
I own the same
Oh,
one, so
and
I caught it.
So delightfully English.
I do like my tankards. I got this tankard for my unbranded cola style drink and my butterbeer one.
I'm sorry, what was that, Kat?
I was just gonna say, Anna, Nymeria Streams put something in that this is actually a real way people coded messages. One thing about Judith as the character, everything about her is taken from real people. Parts of her names, parts of her code names, things that she's done, things that she's experienced, all of it, every bit of it actually happened to somebody at some point who was a female operative in the war behind the enemy lines.
Yeah,
Including the
I
fact
love that about Judith.
Jewish.
Judith's a great tribute to a lot of extremely brave women. And finally, just down below Kat, we have Rindis. Hey, buddy, good afternoon. Who are you playing? Introduce yourself, introduce your character, and tell us something we don't know about Aleksi.
Hi, I'm Rindis of PARTYWIPEGAMES. I will be playing Aleksi Sokolov, and he's got a new buddy by the name of Rasputin. He's a dog. I hope he survives more than I hope Aleksi does. And something about Aleksi that I don't think anybody knows is that I had a few, and I'm trying to decide which one's juicier.
Throw them out. I mean, hey, you can do multiple. That's fine.
Yeah. I think the obvious one of Aleksi is definitely a spy, but maybe not the spy. Is a secret. I think an important one for everybody to know is that Aleksi has a keen interest in staying on Judith's good side because he's picked up on the daggers she's been putting out, and he has something in his history that he knows if she digs a little too deeply might have her pull the trigger instead of just making idle threats.
So he's actively trying to not piss her off?
Yeah. He recognizes danger when he sees it.
Judith's middle name is Danger. Yeah, so that checks out. All right. Judith
Actually,
Danger
it's
Gold
Naomi,
et
but-
al. Oh, it is. Oh. Judith Naomi Danger Gold. Let us begin with a bit of recap. So last episode, we primarily spent our time with our operatives exploring Outpost 13, a Nazi-controlled archaeological dig site built on the site of an old mine shaft. We learned previously that the Nazis, or excuse me, that the Black Sun in particular, one of the occult. Oh, sorry about that. Just a moment. One thing I forgot to mention. Sponsors, like this game in particular, sponsored by none other than Modifius, who publishes Achtung Cthulhu, and this wonderful module that we're running right now. It is not out yet, but we are getting a great first look at it, and so are all of you. Also, please, later on, if you're watching this on YouTube, when it will be posted, please drop a comment below, drop a like, subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you. And also, do not forget that throughout the episode, the poll will be open, where you can vote on who the spy is. We have had a heck of a lot of fingers pointed in varying directions throughout this game, and I don't see any reason why that's going to slow down. So throughout the game, by all means, throw in your votes on who you think the spy is, and perhaps by the end of the episode, you'll change your mind. We'll see. Right, so recap. Outpost 13. Our operatives were exploring Outpost 13, this Nazi archaeological dig site that the Black Sun, one of the occult factions within the Nazi regime, has been searching for a very long time, apparently. We learned through some ghostly visions that Mabel and Helen saw that the Black Suns have been looking for this since the First World War, or perhaps even before. and they were willing to slaughter an entire town of civilians in order to get the information that they needed to find it. At long last, they have found it. The Black Suns, working with the Nachtwölfe, the other occult faction within the Nazi regime, normally intense rivals, hated enemies, but they have found a common cause in whatever they're trying to do at Outpost 13. So our operatives went to explore it. When they arrived, an explosion went off, blew the mine shaft, and blocked their entrance. However, Aleksi, being the adept explosives expert that he is, recognized that this explosion was rigged in such a way that it would prevent entrance for most people or anyone going by, but that it could be easily removed again with some simple equipment, so that they can return, possibly to pick up something that they left behind. Now, they didn't have any excavation equipment or any machinery, but they were able to move enough rocks that a little guy like Aleksi could squeeze down into that mine shaft and see what's going on down there. The place was bathed in an eerie purple glow in this massive chamber covered with pillars that were adorned with glowing runes. And there Aleksi found two very contrasting things. One, a new friend, a dog that he named Rasputin, a half-starved German shepherd that immediately took to him, mostly because he offered it beef jerky. And he also found something else, a creature the like of which he has never seen before, a creature the like of which none of our operatives have ever seen before, maybe. Something hideous, with many eyes, many arms, disjointed limbs. A true horror from beyond. It rattled Aleksi pretty deep, but he soldiered on. He escaped that mineshaft with Rasputin. Meanwhile, Verity had stayed behind on the hillside to keep watch and was ambushed by a Nachtwölfe lieutenant. If not for some very quick thinking and the even quicker trigger finger of Helen Phillips, Master Markswoman, that Nachtwölfe certainly would have killed Verity and killed Mabel when Mabel went back up to investigate. But instead, Helen got the kill shot to end all kill shots and blew the guy's head off. Our operatives, Judith in particular, hid the body, covered their tracks, and they took his bag, which showed there were documents in there which matched some of the documents that Aleksi found down in the mineshaft, that the Black Suns, Nachtwölfe, and their supporting SS troops had gone to Dark Lake, a nearby body of water, to the monastery of St. Bernardarchus, or what remains of it. They also have Marta Archenbaud, the resistance leader that our heroes have been searching for from the very beginning, has been taken from Outpost 13 and taken to Dark Lake. With that information in hand, knowing where they now had to go, the operators got up out of Dodge and went back to Ferme Dubois. They investigated the remaining documents and started noticing some very eerie references, some very odd turns of phrase, things like the Crimson Brothers and the Cowled Sorcerer. Apparently, a new faction distinct from the Black Suns and the Nachtwölfe that both are working with. And they said that the Crimson Brothers, working with their occult allies, wished to summon the Slumbering One to awake it from its sleep. And finally, they noticed many references to the upcoming Watch, capital W, the Watch. Soon, all parties would be joining together to support the Watch on the Rhine. And that was the last tidbit of information that our heroes found just before they heard engines pull up outside of Ferme Dubois and a voice through a loudspeaker say,
"Come out, we have you surrounded."
And that is where we are now. You all have just heard that voice. You do not know how many or what manner of enemies are outside. But you know that you have been found out. What do you do?
I head towards the trapdoor. Because I mentioned we're
just
not
shoving
surrendering.
Judith's just shoving everything into the satchel, just willy-nilly. It's all going in there.
So all the documents and
Alexi's-
everything?
Yeah, all of it.
Go ahead, Alexa.
Alexi's going to lock eyes with Mabel and say, "You'll have gasoline, oils, anything
I
when
have.
you are looking at the vehicle."
Oh, I don't. I mean, I can. We got momentum.
What
I
would
can
you-
spend a momentum to make that a truth.
Yes, I was just about to
I
suggest that.
didn't
Yeah.
think I had. I have like 3 grenades, but yeah, maybe.
Just
So,
have like a
yes.
spare can ready.
You could
lying
spend the
around.
momentum to
Yeah,
create a truth that there is a gas can in the.
There's probably a kerosene
cabinet, if you
can
like.
for the light and the heat in here.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, it's 2 momentum to do that, isn't it? So let's
That's right,
spend a
yep.
momentum to, I don't know what, to have whatever Aleksi needs. I don't know if it can be that, but like,
Yeah, what are you looking for, Alexa?
either have it on me or I'll find some in the house.
I was just gonna start very carefully dousing the area in gasoline as everybody was making their way back. Does anybody mind if I also spend 2 momentum?
No, do it.
Spend it.
Okay. All right.
You could also, yeah, do it. Yeah.
Um,
All right,
so
deduct that.
Alexi's going to be just very carefully setting everything up and remembering that Verity had rigged the kitchen to explode. He's going to go back and set that mechanism with the little timer and couple it with the gasoline. And the truth that I want to add in is that Aleksi keeps a record on him that does have the just like Russian victory song, and he's gonna
It's
put
like the
it
Red
on
Army
the
Choir.
tape. Yeah, the Red Army Choir. He's gonna go over to the obvious record player that this bar has, and he's just going to, like, while the Nazis are out there waiting, he's gonna turn it on so that it starts playing this Russian victory song, so that they're like, "What the F is happening?" And it'll just be that, like, it's the last thing they hear as they go inside to find out where these people are, and the building will blow up. So it'll just be that middle finger to the Nazis as we escape.
You are amazing, Rindis. You're going to.
And the best part about that is they're going to be like, oh, it's Russians, not,
Yeah.
which correlates to the hidden message that they intercepted
Exactly.
about the Russian tower. Yeah.
They're going to be shitting their boots so badly, like, why are the Russians already here?
Shitting in
They're
their jack
supposed to be
boots.
on the other
We thought it'd
front.
be the French. Yeah.
Oh, the
They
Russians
get
have
here
gotten further
so
than we thought. We're
fast.
screwed. This is hilarious in a way I firmly was not expecting. But I love the idea of spending momentum to just put a soundtrack into the moment. So, Alexa, you set the gramophone to play the Red Army Choir. And it's triumphant. Oh, you can just see the goose stepping, and I'm picturing those badass videos you've seen of the Russian army dancers throwing down. I could see Aleksi like doing some squat as he gets
Doing
ready
their
to
power
get out of here.
kicks.
Before I go any further, I just have to shout this out because this is truly the strangest donation I have gotten in this game or any game so far. Anna, Nymeria941, has donated the Pet Pals donation, asking for a pet spoon for Mabel.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
nope.
All right.
Note of that. If she starts talking to it, it's gonna be a little weird. All right, well,
Predecessor of Attack Rocks.
I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, so that will come up at some point. Anyhow, I would like to know. Let me just open up my folder here. I would like some rolls here, please, to see how thoroughly you rig this place. You've already rigged the explosives, but I would like to know how thoroughly you basically get it set to actually do harm to the Nazis if they storm in here. So, Aleksi, for you, I would like agility, because you have to move quickly. Agility with tactics, and I think you may have a focus that applies there. Do you have sabotage or something like that?
No, I had explosives in engineering,
Okay.
but I can use. I think I have one charge left of the saboteur kit.
Oh,
So,
perfect.
Yep. So I think that gave a bonus die. So
Yeah.
Agility tactics. So it's gonna
Agility
be-
tactics. Likewise, Judith, are you rigging anything? You're just grabbing stuff to get the hell out of here, mostly, right?
She's grabbing stuff, but she's also taken because she'd stripped the uniform off of the body when she buried it. So she's like, here, here's something else to barter, just to get rid of that
Oh, great.
uniform.
I probably should have
So-
said I could have helped, but didn't.
Well, you got the success. All well. Are Mabel and Helen, are you doing anything that essentially would require a roll? Are you rigging anything? Are you getting anything ready to run? Or are you just bolting?
I'm opening the trapdoor.
Yep.
And I'm helping Rasputin because we need to not trigger the thing until we're out down the tunnel. So I'm helping Rasputin get down into the tunnel because I imagine everyone else is competent enough to avoid any triggers or sending anything off early. So I'm helping the doggo get in the tunnel.
All right, working away. There's a tripwire, I believe, in the tunnel. Is that what we did?
Yeah, there's a trip wire. So
Yeah.
I could, if we need two of us to carry, I can help with that. I'm basically just trying to help anyone because I'm not really sure what the best thing to do is apart from like, oh god,
Help
I don't want
Judith
to die
get
here.
like the papers and stuff.
help Judith
Yes.
pack, like if and all this sort of stuff. So whatever needs help, Mabel's trying to help.
All right, Judith, I would like you to do agility, and I'm going to call it, in this case, I think, survival. And Mabel, you may assist in that role if you would like. You know what? I'll call it tactics. I think it's fair for both of those to be tactics. You're trying to grab stuff that's appropriate for this. So, Mabel, if you'd like to do a help roll, agility, tactics.
Agility tactics.
If you want to do that first.
If it was agility survival for me, it would give me an extra one, but okay. Let's go for that. Oh, it's not great. Right, I'll try my best. We need
So just that 1d20.
1d20. And my target's only 6. Okay.
Oh!
Oh! I do not help at all.
Oh!
She's just trying to help too many people at the same time, and it just goes terribly wrong.
Oh no! Oh dear,
No, no,
Mabel,
not those papers.
you.
Oh no!
So I'm gonna resolve your complications because you just made Judith's life harder. So Judith, roll your roll now. You're not gonna get the extra die, and there will be a complication that accompanies what you do. So go ahead and do yours, and we'll see.
Can we say
How you
that
do?
this is an attempt to resist fear and panic?
Yes, I think that's fair, and I know you have an ability that is triggered when I say that. But
Yep.
yes, I think that actually is fair. You're trying
Yeah.
to move quickly and stay calm and get what you need.
Okay, so that'll give me a first D20 that I buy for free. So I can
Nope.
automatically roll 3D20 for this. So, and I am going to burn a fortune before
Okay.
I roll to make an auto crit success. So one of the
Good use of
I'll only
fortune
roll the 2d20. Right. The third one is an auto 6.
All right.
All right. So that my target number is this. Oh, I don't have a focus.
1 success.
And that 2 matches my tactics.
Nice.
But do you have a focus that applies?
Oh no, I don't. That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's only if you have a focus. I forget. I keep forgetting. that.
Right. If you have a
Sorry.
focus. Yeah. I know. It's. I know you probably still have Star Trek on the brain, so.
Yeah.
And I think it worked different in that. All right. So that is 1 success, and 2 successes. You have a crit. So really, it's 3 successes, because the crit counts double. So that's gonna pay up your momentum pool. Oops. However, Judith, you know what you can do, Judith, by the way? You can buy off the complication with the momentum you just generated. You can spend it to. You can spend 2 to buy off the complication. I'm doing it. We haven't really been doing that much, but you can do that. Basically, sacrifice the extra momentum. You're welcome to. You don't have to.
Yeah, I think at this point, under this circumstance, I think that's a good spend of momentum, because we
Yeah.
really
Alright.
can't afford any complications at this point. This has to happen fast and clean, and we've already got a Verity that's head injured, and that we
You have 10 seconds. 10,
I grab Verity
9.
and start to help her into the tunnel.
8,
I've got all the
7,
papers under the trapdoor.
5,
Trapdoor.
Lexi's last
4,
Oh.
3, 2, 1. Oh,
Oh no, not the dog.
Nathan, shh.
He's in the tunnel.
We also
God,
made
it
sure
was
that our
fine.
operative
Yeah.
came through. as
Marcel.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel,
So you're
yeah,
all-
Marcel's with us. We didn't leave him up there.
So you all may recall at the end of the last episode, I emptied my entire threat pool, which was 9 threat,
Uh-huh.
and I hope you don't think I did that just to scare you. I did it for a very specific reason. 2 things. 1, I'm going to buy a complication with that 9 threat that I spent, which is quite simply that as you're all getting ready to pile down into the trapdoor, I'm going to say Mabel and Helen got in there first with Rasputin.
Mm-hmm.
Verity has a head injury. Verity
Yeah.
is lagging behind, is having a difficult time moving, and you're not able to immediately get her down the door. She's moving a little slow and a little gingerly and is just not totally with it. Judith gets down. Aleksi, you're heading down. You said you wanted to go last. You were heading down, helping Verity into the trap door. When you hear...
Oh, that sounds like a tank. That's bad.
You hear a tank round fire.
Who called it before we started?
And
Judith.
Aleksi, you are looking up at Verity. You have a hand kind of on her leg and on her hand helping her down. When you hear the tank round fire, and an instant later, before you have time to think, Ferme Dubois is turned into matchsticks above you. A brick, the brick and wood of the structure collapses in on itself. And Verity is struck by a beam that falls, hits her in the back and the back of the skull, and she is launched downward into your arms, Aleksi, landing unconscious on top of you at the bottom of the trapdoor. Aleksi, I'm going to deal you some harm, my friend.
Oh, that's a lot.
That is 8 stress that you take.
Okay.
You will get an injury from that. You collapse downward onto the ground, Verity on top of you. You see blood coming from the side of her head. You are absolutely dazed. And from the awkward way you fell, you land with your arm behind you, and you feel your wrist snap.
Oh, jeez.
As you land in the tunnel. And now, with the rest of you down in the tunnel, Aleksi lying injured, Verity lying unconscious on top of him, you begin to hear shouting voices approaching. And, because you doused everything in gasoline, everything upstairs is on fire that is spreading down into the tunnel near your explosives.
Yeah.
So if you're running, now's the time to run.
You know, Colin, if you just wanted to end this season early, you just need to be saved. It's fine. Okay. So we're here shouting not from down the tunnel, but from upstairs.
Oh yeah, because we're in the tunnel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Near the explosives.
Yeah, I
approaching.
just want to clarify.
Near the explosives.
Yeah. Judith puts the
Okay.
satchel over Aleksi's shoulder, helps him stand, and gives him a gentle push in the direction down the tunnel, pulls her pistol, steps, like maybe 10, 15 feet back from where the explosives are at the trapdoor, and just waits and waits for the others to run. Just go. I'll cover you. Go.
Aleksi isn't going to say anything about the injury, but since he's got the satchel, he's going to fireman carry Verity, and he's going to soldier on, because that's just what the Ruskies do. He's going to keep fighting until he can't.
Not one step back. All right. Mabel, Aleksi, and Helen, y'all are taking off down the tunnel. That's the plan.
Yeah, and I'm gonna like hiss at Judith because I don't want to be loud and yell. Like, those explosives are gonna blow. You need to get away from there. We don't need cover. We need to book it.
Well, go.
Yes,
I'll
we all
be
need to go.
behind
Let's
you.
go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Oh, and she's saying that as she's moving. She's not stopping. She's.
Yeah.
That's we put a lot of explosives there. It's gonna be real bad.
Judith is running about 15 to 20 feet behind the rest of the group, just kind of backward. Because if nothing else, she wants to be able to shoot the explosives if they down through.
All right. Who is at the front of the pack?
I think it's Helen with Rasputin, because I was in the
Helen
tunnel
and
first,
Rasputin.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Helen, we're going to do this as a group roll. Helen, you're going to be taking the lead.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And everyone
I hope
else
it's a skill
will be
I don't suck at.
assisting. It is going to be agility survival. It is just run for your
Okay.
life.
That's not bad then. Agility, survival. Okay.
I would like
Cool.
Aleksi and Mabel to roll
It's not like-
helps for this.
Agility,
sorry, go ahead.
athletics. Because we're running.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Agility, it is just run as fast as you can, and it's also a straight line.
Any
Well, actually, you do
penalties
have
for
to-
my injury?
Good question. I don't think that's going to... Would that slow you down in this?
I do have Mabel on, or not Mabel, Verity on my
Verity.
on me too.
That will.
The other
yeah.
English woman.
Yeah. Yes, that definitely will.
They're all the same.
I'm going to increase for your help action, Aleksi, for your injury and for Verity being on your shoulders. I'm going to increase your complication range. So you will roll a complication on a 20, a 19, and an 18.
Okay. And we're doing agility, athletics. That's doable.
Yep.
I didn't succeed in helping.
Nope.
I
Hey!
did.
Oh, hey. That will give Helen a bonus. And Judith, for you, because you are planning to blow up some explosives, I would like your roll to be a separate one from these ones. I am going to call your roll... I mean, you're planning to shoot the thing, right? So... But, you know, we're going to call it...
If the fire doesn't get to it first.
Yeah, if the fire
She's
doesn't get to
waiting
it
for that
first.
trap
Yeah, I think
door to
if it
open.
doesn't go off.
She's waiting for that trap door to open, and when that trap door opens, that's when she's going to have it blow.
Yeah, if it hasn't exploded before the trapdoor opens.
Right. Exactly.
I am going to call yours a coordination tactics, I think, Judith?
Okay. Well, how about coordination
And-
for fighting? Because I do have a focus in hands.
Yeah, that would be for the shooty bit. Yeah, okay, sure. And I think that's fair. And Helen, you can now roll your lead roll using the one extra die that you got from Aleksi.
Sure. Sure.
Helen, I'm going to call this
So
a
that's 3
difficulty
dice.
2 roll. You're going to need 2 successes.
I'm gonna spend a momentum then, so I can roll 4 dice, because it seems important to not be caught up in an explosion as a group.
It does, yeah.
I'm just saying. So, okay.
Alright, so put your momentum pool at 1.
Target number.
You could give him 1 threat and get 5 dice.
I think I don't want to give him any threat, though. He's at 0 threat
Well-
for like the first time ever, and I don't want to give him any.
I know. That builds up. Like, that just builds up.
It's just, no, I refuse. It's okay, I didn't need it. I got 3 successes.
Hello, nurse. That is going to give you 2 extra momentum because that was a difficulty 2. Oh, no, it'll give you 1 extra, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
which puts you at 2.
Hey, I put it back. I took it and I put it back in. I was like, oh, thanks.
Took it, put it right back. All right. All right, Helen. Tell me, as you run away, like how you are coordinating everyone and what's going on as you guys are booking it down the tunnel.
I think she's just like quietly, because again, don't want to, and it's an echoey tunnel, so just come on, keep moving. Don't want to get caught in a blast. It's a bad way to go. I've seen it. It's not pretty. We just need to keep going, keep it on. She's athletic, she's fit, she's agile. She's just in the lead. She's got one of the flashlights out, so that way it's definitely the light for everybody to kind of follow with Rasputin.
Yeah.
And she's kind of just
Rasputin. Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
yeah, and she's used to being on a farm. And a German Shepherd is a type of herding dog, technically speaking. Used to be at least, and so she kind of knows how to deal with dogs, even though it responds to commands in German. She's going to get more physical commands to kind of like follow, like get them started, grab the scruff, start running, kind of thing.
Yeah, and Rasputin Rasputin seems a bit hesitant to follow you because Rasputin keeps falling behind to try to stay with Aleksi,
Mm-hmm.
who is more at the back of the pack, and he's kind of whining and is running but keeps looking back at Aleksi. Aleksi, what is going through your head right now, and what are you doing as you run down this tunnel?
He's being mindful of the explosives on the other end of the tunnel, and he's just like, do not forget the tripwires. And he sees the dog, he sees Rasputin struggling, and he just kind of barks in order in German for it to keep moving, just like forward.
Mush.
Yep.
And
Mush.
Mabel, what's going on in your head and what's your heart rate like right now?
I think my heart rate is very high. Mabel, yes. Mabel feels a bit out of her element. If she had, if they had jumped in a vehicle and if she was in that panda or whatever, she'd be like, she's fine. But she is very much out of her element, like underground. That all went down really quickly and badly. They had all these plans of like luring the Germans into a trap, and suddenly they were in a trap. And so, yeah, my heart rate is very high. She is desperately trying to remember if there are other tripwires. I'm assuming we passed the main one because it was probably back there, but I don't know. And but she's like trying to focus on the ground for any tripwires, and the fact that everyone had a plan back there, and she didn't. Like she was trying to help, but she failing, and everyone else kind of knew what they were doing, and so she's feeling a bit lost, and yeah.
So
good.
As the game master here, you guys just fed me some information that I don't know if you should have fed me, but I was not under the impression that when you rigged the explosives, you did it all throughout the tunnel. I thought it was just back at the trapdoor and underneath the house.
No,
You rigged
that's
the whole
what I
tunnel.
didn't have that many. But when we get to the
it
other
was
end, I think
just,
is what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's
Back at the
warning them
restaurant?
not to.
Mhm.
No. There, we had the explosives set on the other end as well, because if
The
they
restaurant
had
and
found
our
it,
end
At the
and
black
the
door.
trapdoor end. Yeah, there's none in between.
The trapdoor,
there.
the trapdoor. Yeah, the trapdoor is what
Okay.
I was warning them about. Yeah, there's nothing down
I
this
see.
tunnel.
We're already-
That would have been.
We're already
Because
past
that would be
tripwire.
bad
No.
right now, because you're hauling
Yeah,
ass,
that
and that
would've
would
been
be
bad.
very bad.
That would have been game
Okay.
over for us.
It was the trigger wasn't right at the start. It was a little bit in, so they could file in and then trip it and collapse on themselves, I think was the
Right.
idea. But it's not like miles down the tunnel. That's what I thought.
No, it's like I
Okay.
imagined it was like 5-10 feet because we wanted to collapse the entrance, make it seem more like a
Yeah.
cellar rather than a tunnel. So we're past
Yes.
that. We wouldn't have started running till after
Sure.
we crossed that.
So we deal now
Yeah,
with...
you would have been carrying the dog as
Judith.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's running. We deal now with Judith. You see Judith, Aleksi being the last one running down the tunnel. Bit of a limp. His arm kind of hanging a bit lamely at his side, and has Verity on his shoulder. This grizzled old Russian survivor of Stalingrad is looking in rough shape. As you move, you're keeping moving, right, Judith? You're not sitting still here.
Yeah,
You're still going
she's just slowly, because she knows she has to stay within pistol range of these
Yeah.
explosives.
So you're backing up,
So I think
eyes on the trapdoor.
Mhm.
And you see the flames from above. You can see into the trapdoor the glow, the orange glow, getting more and more intense. And through the cracks between the slats of the trapdoor, you can see the floor beneath it illuminated, lighting up those rigged explosives that sit right nearby. I would like... You can hear feet approaching, but due to the fire, I don't think it makes any sense for the Nazis to go right in and approach the trapdoor. Also, there's a ton of rubble on top of it. But what is happening is that the fire is spreading down through the trapdoor. And you can see that you probably only have a few seconds before that will heat up enough to trigger your explosives.
that's when
What
she
do you
turns
do?
and runs. She turns, runs, will slip an arm around Aleksi and just kind of help him move as he's carrying the weight. So they're almost like, it's almost like a three-legged walk kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her shoulder
As
under
you-
his shoulder that's taking Verity's weight.
As you turn and run to go meet back up with Aleksi, I would like for you to make an agility survival roll. Because these things are about to go, and you are kind of close. You may make it just fine, but we shall see.
Alrighty. Yeah, agility survival. Okay. I am going to give you a threat for the dice, and then
Thank
spend
you.
the momentum for a fourth one.
All right.
Okay, so 4. No, that's not okay. Going back and checking my numbers, it's just like, ah! Here we go.
Yeah. That'll give you 2 momentum. Judith, you realize time is short and that they're not coming through that door because of the fire. There's no way they're going to get through. You realize this just in time as you turn on your heel, run toward Aleksi, support him, put his arm around your shoulder and kind of three-legged run with Aleksi, and you get solid 50 yards down the tunnel when the bomb goes off. And behind you, you can hear rubble falling as the tunnel collapses in a shockwave. You can hear it getting closer and closer, the falling of brick on concrete behind you. And you just manage to make it far enough with Aleksi as the final bit of the tunnel, the energy of this explosion finally dissipates and caves in behind you not more than 10 feet. Had you waited another few seconds, you would be buried alive. But you and Aleksi can breathe a sigh of relief. And at least know that the Nazis ain't coming from that way.
As we get like a few more, another couple of yards, she's going to kind of pull up. She knows that Aleksi and Verity both got hit pretty hard, and we're at this point, we need to make sure to check them over. So she just kind of tries to halt Aleksi up. Put her down.
Yeah, okay. And he's gonna very carefully ease Verity down, making sure not to use. Which wrist is it that's broken?
Left.
Left? Okay. So yeah, he's definitely leaning more on the dominant hand than he's right-handed. So he's putting all of the emphasis on that hand, and since it's not his dominant hand, it doesn't have to show that it's injured just yet, but.
Yeah, I think Judith at this point, she needs to check Verity first. But she's like looking over her shoulder for Mabel and Helen.
Did not think they would bring a Panzer.
I didn't think they knew about the farmhouse.
Hopefully not.
No, they...
Probably should not stay long.
No. I don't know that the Black Boar is going to be any safer. If they know about Ferme Dubois, we have to assume that they know about the Black Boar.
Yes.
Aleksi,
She's still kind of looking for Mabel and Helen, like...
Yeah, Mabel, Helen.
I think we stopped when the explosion and turned around to check that the
Yeah,
others were still
soon.
there. I would have.
Yeah, just
It was loud.
Like, at least a glance of...
The explosion rattled down this tunnel, the sound just reverberating off the concrete, and set both you, Mabel, and Helen just completely dazed for a moment as this sort of sonic boom stuns your eardrums, and even Rasputin whines, and it's a very loud, chaotic moment, and that is when you realize that Judith and Aleksi are not directly behind you, and that they have lagged behind. Aleksi, for your part, the adrenaline, as you finally sit still, is starting to wear off a little bit, and the pain in your wrist is searing.
I really wish I had
Helen,
more
forward or
vodka.
back?
Well,
Let's go
make
to
sure
Mabel
they're
and Helen
alright.
first, and we'll come back to you. Yeah.
Sorry.
just be careful.
Okay.
The tunnel's probably not super stable right now.
No, I know. I don't see the other three. Actually, I am assuming Marcel is also maybe with us instead of with them. He
Yes,
was
sorry, I
probably
didn't really
running
shout out
to
Marcel.
your right.
Mhm.
But yeah, Marcel
I know,
was with
it's
the
it's
Druid.
Yeah, I
Marcel was
hard
with
to
the Druid.
remember
Keep up.
fully what. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
Marcel's
forget
bent
Mona.
over, hands on his knees, just like...
I mean, he's still recovering from being shot, isn't he? So, can we see the other two? Look, the other three. Are they
There's a little
that far
curve
behind?
in the tunnel,
Mhm.
Okay.
so they're not directly in eyesight right now.
We need us all, and I'm gonna
Yep.
head back to where the tunnel bends to see if they survived. Either because she cares, but also there's the satchel, there's evidence, there's various things, like, so they probably need to see if there's anything recoverable, but hopefully it's them. So bending around the corner and see them.
Yeah. You can see
Okay,
Judith
alive.
and
Let's go.
Aleksi
Let's go get them.
like seated when you turn that corner.
Gonna run back up to them to try and help them. Okay. Oh goodness, you survived. Well, that's good. Oh man. I'm gonna. Okay. What's the plan? We can't really stay here for very long. I don't know if they're just waiting at the other place to blow that. We might be trapped in a tunnel, basically.
No, I'm walking up behind
Judith?
because I'm not running at this point to catch up. And she's like, well, there are other tunnels. We just followed the markings to get here. We could pop out one of them mystery locations. Or we could check in on the boar. We don't have to use the door, but if the tunnel's blown, we know they've been compromised there too.
Any thoughts?
You alright,
Judith?
Aleksi?
Aleksi?
Yeah, I'm a little...
Verity's
Aleksi?
unconscious.
Oh
I-
no.
My hand, he kind of holds it up, and it's probably swollen purple, obviously a bone sticking out or something. He's like, Commissar is not here to end my suffering, so I think I can issue complaint. It is worse than it, or it looks worse than it is, I assure you.
Right. Okay. Let's
It looks
Probably
pretty bad.
wrap that.
It does
Yeah.
look bad.
This is when some snow would be a good thing. Can try and wrap up his wrist, because not much can do for Verity at the moment. At least get Aleksi workable as much as possible. So a nice tight bandage to try and, or I mean, if is it like really broken, like bone sticking out broken? Does it need like resetting almost and stuff?
Oh, it's like a compound fracture.
It's a
Gross.
Really?
compound
I
fracture.
don't
Without going into
officially-
gory details, compound
pretty
fracture
bad,
meaning
yeah.
it's exposed through the bone is exposed through skin.
Okay, yeah, you're
I
gonna,
don't
you're gonna need
officially
to
have
sit that.
anything in medicine at all.
Same. Verity's
I
the only
didn't
one
even
of us, I
think
think, who has any medicine. So.
Ain't that a shame?
But Verity
don't-
does
didn't
have
even
a
think
medicine
about
kit,
that.
right?
I think Verity has a medicine kit.
I feel like we all must have like a personal first aid or like stopping bleeding and various things, you know?
Yeah,
I
you've
think we
had small
talked about
bandages.
I don't
Verity
know.
doesn't have a.
prepared before.
Yeah.
Verity does not have a
Yeah.
medicine kit.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You'll have basic bandages and stuff like that, but I don't think any of
Mhm.
you would have something
Yeah.
like a splint on you
No.
I
randomly.
could probably fix it up the boar if the boar is not
You could buy
compromised.
one.
Oh, I see. I mean, but like a splint can be made of two flat things.
Mhm.
You can do one.
So,
yeah, if
you
you've
know,
got one super budget,
improvise.
you can make a split.
So does anyone have anything flat? Long and flat? Or we could just keep moving and do this either at the boar or
Yeah.
at some other mystery place.
If the boar's not compromised, setting it there real quick would be ideal. They seem to know what they're doing
Better
medically
than this
speaking.
tunnel, can't hardly see.
Yeah,
Yes.
just hold
Um,
it. Just be very gentle with it, Aleksi.
Oh, don't worry. I will not try to aggravate it anymore.
Maybe there's someone with a bit of medical training. I mean, they helped
Does anybody
Marcel, Jack,
A
whatever
dagger
his
and a
name is.
sheath? Does anybody have a sheath dagger? Fighting knife
sheath?
in a sheath.
I've got a knife.
Then you have a sheath,
I've got a spoon.
I would say. Reasonable.
Do you have a spoon?
Between the spoon and the sheath, we make you a
I
spoon.
mean, better than putting a knife on his wrist.
Yeah.
Judith takes the knife, it's like this along the arm. She can't really set it, but she can't. At least it gives her something, and then she just starts bandaging it, and then she takes like a belt or something a little stiffer, and we'll wrap that around it to stiffen it up some. So at least there's some support. It's covered. You can't. Clearly till you get it set.
I
No.
have mechanics tools. Might
Those would
have
be
a,
some long
you
flat
know,
objects.
a spanner or
Yeah,
something.
Spanner.
Yeah, spanner would work even better than a knife.
I just might swap it out for the knife because a knife,
Sharp
unsheathed
poking.
knife, like if he thought like, yeah, just not a good
That's why
idea.
she
So
wanted the sheath. That's why she wanted
Yeah,
the sheath.
sheath on.
knife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you meant the knife and the sheath on the other side, so the knife was
No.
unsheathed. That's fair
No.
enough.
Oh,
Then
that would be-
that's fine.
that
But
would
if
be fun.
she needs it a spanner or something, I mean, like, yeah, I was just like picturing an unsheathed knife going. I don't think that's
You
a
just
good
shove the
idea."
knife forward and go, I'm Etsy. Just
Yes,
stab
great.
people.
Great spot. Also, I don't know how we've gotten through this so far without Helen saying, "That's not a knife."
I'm not Australian.
But if
So-
Mabel's got a spanner, she'd rather.
Yeah, Mabel
If
definitely
Mabel
has
has
a
a
spanner.
spanner, she'll use the spanner. Yeah, we'll use the that would be even better.
All right. Judith, for me, you have time here to do this. You're not rushed, so I will call
Yeah.
this a reason medicine.
Okay, I do have one in medicine, so
Oh,
Okay.
good. Good.
Good.
all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend a momentum for 3 days.
Smart.
So close.
We tried.
So
Judith,
close. Can I? I'm gonna spend
Judith.
my last fortune to re-roll that.
okay.
Judith is starting to think that Aleksi might actually be a real mensch. Okay, now does it let me re-roll all of them or just one? Re-roll any number of die. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Jeez Louise.
Judith.
Did you roll exactly the same numbers?
No.
No.
16, 10, 10,
Okay.
14, 14, 10.
Judith, tell me why you fail.
Her hands are shaking. The
And why is that?
adrenaline. Why is that?
Mhm.
She hasn't really eaten much. It's been a very long day. There's been she's not a an athletic person by any means. Huge adrenaline dump. And she's been going on adrenaline. She's had to dig a grave. She's dragged bodies. All of this has been going on, and this is the point where she's actually just kind of finally stopped for a minute, and it just that act stopping is enough. Her body's just dumping it, and she's got the shakes, hardcore.
Yeah.
Her face is just pale. It's that full adrenaline jump.
You place the spanner on Aleksi's wrist and you start trying to bandage it up, and just your hands just won't cooperate with you. And yes, you feel these kind of just, and as the frustration builds, the kind of tremors in your hands get more and more violent, and eventually, Aleksi, you see Judith just let the bandages go and kind of, flex her hands a bit. And it's been a very long day, a very long night. And Judith, you
Alexi's
realize now that you are exhausted, just completely running on fumes, nothing left in the tank, just beat. And I go ahead, Aleksi.
Aleksi's going to see the frustration, and he's going to reach out with his good hand, and he's just going to put his hand over one of Judith's, and in the Russian, so that the others don't hear their conversation, he just says, "I wanted to tell you, I'm sorry for what has happened to your family and your people. I am not directly responsible for any hardships that may have happened, but I am responsible for being complacent in it. And I have done many bad things in my life, but one thing I can promise you is it's never been against your people. It doesn't make what I've done better, but just know that I've tried to help where I could." And then he's probably going to pass out from the pain.
Is there anything Judith would like to say before Aleksi passes out?
I'm not schlepping you all the way back across friendly territory. Meal. God, you're such a mensch. All right.
His parting words before passing out is probably just give me 5 minutes. And then he's out.
This from the guy who made fun of Verity for passing out last episode. Shots fired.
Yeah.
It's true. He literally had a person fall on him and has a broken arm, though, to be fair, with no painkiller.
Yeah. And now the rest of you see two of your comrades unconscious, and Marcel is pacing around with his hands on his head, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die in a tunnel. I'm gonna die in a sewer. This is where I die.
Hello, positive. You did not die at a tree. We helped you. So, you've already
That was
survived
Gaston.
one gunshot.
That was Gaston. This is Marcel. Different guy.
I knew that. Ignore me.
All these resistance fighters look alike. No, they do have the same voice though, so that's sort of my fault. But yeah, he's Gaston was back at the Black Boar. He might still be there.
God damn it.
Yeah. This is Marcel. Lindy, you're muted.
Yeah. Marcel actually has an accent and is more local compared to Gaston, who is like,
Yes.
yeah, I just
Sorry,
blend right in here.
It's so subtle. It's so subtle. I just missed it. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Gaston is. Yes, I am Belgian. Hello, pleased to meet you.
Hello.
We can
Anyway,
take a rest in the
we're
tunnel.
not going to die here. We're going to get out. So how about be helpful? Pick up Aleksi. Go for it. And
How
Helen.
how strong does Marcel look?
Marcel's he's a strapping young man. Marcel's about
Okay.
25, good fighting age.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
looks to be
Helen's
strong.
pretty buff, so she was gonna carry Aleksi if he didn't look strong. But if he looks capable, I was gonna be like, someone carry the lighter Verity. I'll get the heavy person. But if he looks strapping and beefy, he can carry Aleksi. You know.
Yeah, he
Or
looks like a farmer's
Verity.
son, probably.
Okay.
Either way, we're all carrying someone pretty much.
Or we could take a
I think
rest
we're all
here.
pretty knackered.
You know,
Things to
Yeah.
arms and legs.
Let's send Gaston down to see if
Marcel.
down to see the bull.
what things look like at the other-
Marcel.
while we rest here. Marcel, sorry, let's send Marcel back to the towards the Black Boar, see what things are going on down there. And
Take a
come
breather.
back and tell us it's okay or not okay.
Well, if he doesn't come back, it's obviously not okay.
Well, either that or
And I
he's
look at
having a
Marcel
beer
like
and he
maybe I
doesn't
shouldn't
really
have
think
said
about
that out
coming
loud.
back.
Yeah, Marcel's like, you just want me to
Scout?
check if the coast is
Just scout.
clear?
Yeah.
yes,
I could use a gun.
You don't
Got a
have
couple
one?
extras at this point.
Yeah,
I didn't
actually,
have one
think
on me when we
that-
started running.
Well, here.
Okay.
She'll hand him one of
There's
the
definitely
like,
a
extra
German
pistols
gun that I
up.
picked up. Mm-hmm.
So wait, Helen or Mabel's giving him a gun? I just heard two different.
And Mabel can give it to him. That's fine. She has a.
Oh, that
She picked
Luger
up
you
from the
picked
German.
up
I just
off
know
that
there's
dead
some-
Nazi?
Yeah, there's a handgun from the dead Nazi, and there was a machine gun, so I can give him just the small handgun.
Hmm.
I can't remember if
You did.
someone wanted the machine gun at this point.
It's Aleksi.
So you hand him the Luger, and he looks rattled. Likewise to all of you, he looks shaky, pale. He's just expended a hell of a lot of energy running down this tunnel, and he
Does he look?
you see him
Does he look too shaky?
you see him holding the gun, and he like pulls back the slide to check the chamber, and his hands are shaking, and he puts it back and holsters it in his belt, and he looks to
You know what?
Mabel and says, I don't want to do this.
I'll do it. It's fine. Stay here. Rest. I'll be back.
Wait, I can do it. You can carry if need be, and you're a good shot. You had my back before.
I'm also very quiet.
Fine, I won't take that as an insult. I mean, I have a lot of rattly pieces of equipment, that's all.
I'm sorry, I've done undercover operations before. I've done covert ops for the Resistance. I'm not a coward. I'm just exhausted.
No. It's fine. Take a breather. I'm feeling alright still. Check on things, and then y'all can cover when I take a breather.
Okay. Before you go, we also have a code for when you get to the trapdoor. There's a
All right.
secret knock. And he gives you, it's basically a Morse code
Okay.
knock. And it's the, what is it? It's the SOS Morse code, which is dot, dot, dot,
Yeah.
dash, dash,
Dash,
dash,
dash,
dot,
dash.
dot, dot. If everything's fine, then Madame Lemieux should let you in. If everything's not fine, and
The tunnel's probably
tunnel's collapsed,
it's probably blown up.
then
Yeah.
well then I don't know where we go from there.
We'll figure it out if that's the case.
Okay. Thank you for you're really fucking brave.
She's like, nah, just stubborn. Needs to get done.
Well, stay stubborn in the face of death. So say we all. All right. And he hands you back the pistol he takes out of his belt. Hands you the Luger.
No,
You gonna need that?
shit,
You
I don't need that.
got your own. Yeah, all right. It's a nice gun. And he sits down next to Judith, like collapses next on the wall next to where Aleksi is passed out and Verity is unconscious. And he just leans and just breathes and shuts his eyes. Just a little in through the nose, out through the mouth. And Helen, you're going to take on? Oh yeah, go ahead. Please, go ahead, Kat. No, Kat, I believe Helen's just taking off, so please, go ahead.
I think it kind of very quietly in French will ask him what other safe houses are there that they haven't. Was this the last one?
They've been dropping like flies ever since Liesel got into town. More and more and more of us keep getting found out. There's not a lot of safe places left. And it's so... It's all fucking over, you know? It's over. The Nazis are gonna lose this thing. Everybody knows it. You lot got them on the run. Why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep fighting?
Because they are fanatics. They are zealots. It is the way of fanatics and zealots.
I'm just tired, Judith. I'm just tired.
How old are you, Marcel?
24? My
We're
birthday
all
is September 1st. Day the war started.
Your war started that day. Let us do what we can to try to end it before you see a quarter century. Because they will keep fighting. As long as there are people in Berlin telling them to fight. They will keep fighting.
Is that what we have to do? Is that the only way this ends? Cut off the head of the snake?
That's the only way to kill a snake.
I don't know how you keep going. I don't know a lot about you, but I can tell you've been at this a while. And you keep going.
3. Yeah. What choice do I have? My husband gave his life. We have no children. I have family between Berlin and Moscow.
Yeah.
I think I still have family between Berlin and Moscow.
What do you mean?
You do not
You lost
know
them?
about the camps. The camps.
The what?
The camps. You do not know about the camps.
What camps?
For the Juden. For those like me, the Juden.
You were...
Yes. Why do you think I'm here? My people are being eradicated by the Nazis.
If they catch you...
Then I must do what I can to not be caught.
You're braver than I thought. And I already thought you were pretty fucking brave.
It's not bravery. It is doing what needs to be done.
Yeah. I joined the resistance on my 22nd birthday. Which I now get to celebrate as the anniversary of a war. Did my first operation a month later. Snuck up behind a Nazi lieutenant. He was having a piss out behind a tavern. Just a guy having a night out. I'm sure he'd done lots of terrible things in his life. I don't pity him at all. But that night, he was just out having a drink. I don't speak really good German, but I heard him and his buddies saying that his wife back in Berlin had a baby. I guess their commanding officer gave him the night off because they lived it up. I hid behind a dumpster. And when that Nazi fuck went out to take a piss, I crept up behind him. Garroted him with a piano wire. I didn't feel bad about it for a second. I still don't. I'm not gonna shed a tear for that fucker. And you know what? That's why I hate them. That's why I hate them so fucking much. You should feel bad about that kind of thing. Taking a life shouldn't be that easy. But they made it easy. Through their hate, they make us hate. And I fucking hate that.
Do you hate cockroaches?
Don't love them. Why?
Do you hate the vermin and rats?
Get into my grain, yeah.
But do you hate? Is it a personal hate? I hate this rat. I hate all
it's
rats.
just an inconvenience, I guess. As long as it stays out of my way, I don't mind.
Well, these are vermin.
Rats gotta
too.
live
Stay
somewhere.
out of our way.
The
These
Nazis.
are vermin. Yes. I do not hate them. They are cockroaches. Cockroaches that made a choice.
I wish I could. It just shouldn't be that easy. It shouldn't be that easy.
Shouldn't be that. It. Oh. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be that easy, but it is. When you step on a cockroach to kill any living thing, it shouldn't be that easy. I am sure I'll be burning it. I'm not going to heaven, I know this. I can never atone for the sabbats I have worked, killed on, taken a life. And I've never prayed for atonement or forgiveness for any of their lives that I've taken.
Do you believe in all that?
I don't know anymore. I did once. What I saw in Poland, I don't know anymore. But we suffer, we wander. It is not the first time that they've tried to eradicate us.
It's an awful thing to be hated just because of who you are.
It is.
I'm sorry that you have to live with that.
You must live with being so young and having seen so much and done so much that a young man of your age should not have. You should be kissing pretty girls and taking them out to dances. You should not be killing Nazis behind bars while they take a piss. And one day, you will find pretty girls, and you will take them out and kiss them and dance them, and marry one and raise small children, and you will teach them not to hate people because of who they are.
Do you have any water?
Yes. And she will pull out a canteen and hand it over to him.
He unscrews the top and takes a swig and holds it out and says, all we can do is hope that we're not doing this same time next year. No more winters.
That would be nice.
What is it
That would be nice.
what is it that your people say? Next year in Jerusalem?
Next year in Jerusalem.
I'm gonna rest my eyes a moment, if you don't mind.
Good. Rest. And then she's going to quickly check him over for injuries, making sure that there aren't any obvious bleeding, that he's not actually been bleeding out this whole time.
He has a lot of bumps and bruises. He got caught with some of the flying rubble from the explosion. He's got welts and bumps and bruises all over him, but nothing broken, and a few cuts and scrapes, but nothing major. He's just generally roughed up, dirty, sweaty, all kinds of nasty, but he'll be all right.
Aren't we all?
The boy's just tired.
Yeah. She'll check on Verity and Aleksi, make sure that they're tucked in as warm as she can make them, and then we'll light a cigarette and sit back and smoke. Mabel,
You see that?
offer a
I
cigarette.
just want to say really
Mabel.
quickly, I'll come right back to you. I just want to let you know really quick, and you look over Verity, you now see the extent of her wounds, and you can feel when you palpitate her head, or palpate, there is some...
Palpitations are what your heart do.
Yeah, right, palpate, yes. I haven't been an EMT in a very long time. You feel some soft bits. Some of her skull seems to be fractured. However, she is... you feel her pulse is steady. You put your ear to her mouth and she can fog a mirror, she's drawing breath. But she already had a knock from that Nazi, and she took another serious hit to the back of the head and has fractured her skull. She is stable, it seems, for now, but one thing you would know about these kind of wounds is who knows if she's going to wake up. She may be down for the count. But for the time being, she is at least stable. And there's very little you can do about that right now.
Yeah. She's
So anyway, you were having a cigarette.
Yep, having a cigarette. She offers one out to Mabel. How are you, dear?
Bit out of my element, to be honest. But I'm okay. I seem to be better than other people. So, chin up and all that.
Where does that come from? How do you do that? You and Verity, keep that chin up.
I mean, I guess that's what you have to do, otherwise... And she looks down at Marcel. Otherwise, you can end up giving up hope, and that doesn't help anyone, does it? So, you know, we've just been always taught, stiff upper lip, and despairing is not going to help us. We need to get through this, and to do that, you just have to keep pushing through. So that's what we're doing, I guess, isn't it?
If you want to cry, I won't tell anybody.
Maybe later. Maybe a little. To be honest, we're not out of it yet. I feel like that's something that almost happens when it's all over, you know? Everything gets released then. At the moment, I'm still a little bit tense. I don't really like staying in this tunnel, to be honest. They could be digging through. We are really rats in a barrel right now, as he says. Hopefully, maybe the pub is not compromised yet. Maybe they just thought we were there and they had no idea about the tunnel. They obviously might know about the tunnel now, as they probably haven't found any bodies. But, yes. So I don't know. We'll see what Helen says, but I'm starting to wonder whether it's worth going back to the Boar or wherever those other tunnels lead. I wonder if Marcel knows, but let's let the boy rest for now.
We're going to have to get Verity to the Boar. We can't take her with us. Every time we move her, it's not going to help. She needs to be someplace where she can be taken care of.
Yes. Well, let's bloody well hope they're not there.
Can't decide if I'd rather have a glass of wine or a cup of tea.
Oh, tea every time.
Tell me about your home, Mabel. I haven't been back there since a long time. Tell me about your
England
home.
or
England, where you grew up, where you live.
Oh, okay. Well, so I well, yes, England. I mean, what can you say about England? Well, so I have two brothers. There's Tommy and David. They're older than me. So I always looked up to them. It's kind of why I'm here in a way. I mean, they both joined up. Tommy's in the Air Force. David is Army, I think he works in tanks, which is quite exciting. Not so exciting now that I've been on the other end of a tank shell, but hopefully he's doing a good job. Yes. And we were always very close. Lost our father recently, or recent-ish. It's kind of why I'm here as well. I don't want to talk about that. I mean, apart from the fact he was a lovely man. But yes, well, London is London. It looked better, I guess. But, you know, everyone pulls together. It's surprising. Before I joined up, I spent a number of nights down in the underground stations. And it's bizarre, really, that bombs can be dropping overhead and yet we're all down there singing songs. And there's almost a lovely little community feel. And you don't really think about the bombs until it's over, and then you have to go back up and find the people that didn't make it. But, you know, for those brief, well, long nights, I suppose, It's quite nice. Just wish that we didn't have to be in a war for that feeling to be there. That would be nice. I don't really understand why all this happens. That's the main thing. It's like, what are we even arguing about? I don't understand why people hate each other. There's no good reason. You know, life's damn well short as it is. Why are we making it so much shorter? I'm sorry to hear about, well, you know, your family. Things I've heard about the camps a little. It's all a bit of a mystery, though. Are they really just holding lots of people and just murdering them for no good reason?
Yes.
Seems so bizarre.
By the thousands. Daily. From what I've heard.
Well, see, that's why the stiff upper lip, in a sense. Because if we give up, then those people have nothing. And so we need to keep going so that we can help stop it quicker and get them out. Because we're able to, for now. So as long as we're able, we keep going. I wonder what Aleksi saw down that mine shaft. He was very quick to blow it up. Although he loves explosives, so what do I know?
Anything that makes the hero of Stalingrad look like that, it's not something I really want to face.
We're in a bit of a pickle, aren't we? We haven't succeeded in anything so far. Instantly got shot at. Our contact was almost dead when we found him. We found Unit 13. We found Outpost 13, and the person we were looking for is not even there. Now we've got to go to a completely different place, and we have no idea where we're going. And it seems like the Nazis are one step ahead of us all the time. Sorry, stiff upper lip. No, positive thinking. We're going to be fine.
It is almost like they knew we were coming.
I kind of look down at Marcel. You don't think, really? I mean, no, he looks terrified. I can't. That's too good a liar, right?
Not him. No, not him. It's, I don't believe that it is unlikely that Dagger hasn't talked by now.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Well. Sorry. I'm just wondering about Helen. How far was it back down the tunnel? It was a long time, wasn't it? We're gonna have to wait forever.
About a 45-minute walk. Yeah, better part of an hour.
She's a bloody good shot. I think she saved my life back there.
She saved all of our lives. Twice now.
Yes. I'm glad she's here. Goodness, that man's head exploded like a melon. It was quite disgusting, but still, thank goodness.
I can't imagine
What is...
having
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
killed that many people, watched it the scope. I've killed a fair share, but
Yes. This is strange. She seems so... well, I don't know what the word is. I want to say normal, but that's wrong. And I want to say bubbly, but she's not quite bubbly. She doesn't seem like
untouched.
a cold-hearted killer. Well, yes. I mean,
It's
surely
almost like it
you
doesn't-
must disconnect.
It has touched her. Yes.
I mean, you cannot see them as human if you're able to just do that, I guess. Although, to be honest, war... I think if it's you or them, it has to be them. Otherwise it's you and it's over. So, that's what the training was about.
Take one life to save many.
Exactly. Whereas they're taking many lives for something. And that's strange.
We'll have to go get tea after this is over. You and I.
Indeed. Yes. And scones. Scones are lovely. You need that with tea.
I haven't had tea in Scots in years. My husband
True.
was RAF Canadian. The Eagle Squadrons, and so I flew over to join him. We had a little flat. I remember the tea and the scones in the little shop around the corner. It's lovely.
Does sound lovely. Is he around still?
No, he was shot down on a mission coming back.
Sorry.
I wouldn't have been doing this if he hadn't.
Yes. It's funny, the motivation, isn't it? Same with me and my father.
Judith will reach over and give Mabel a hug. Just a very, kind of that brief, squeeze. And then sit back.
I think Mabel's reached in and has pulled out the quite a small little Welsh love spoon, and she's kind of just holding it and stroking it while she's talking about that.
Do you have a sweetheart?
Actually, no. My father gave me this one. I decided to bring it with me. He's kind of the reason I'm here anyway, and no point in leaving it in a cabinet at home with the others. This one's coming with me.
Good luck, Charm.
Let's hope.
And as you rest together, Mabel, holding her good luck Welsh love spoon in hand, just sort of running your thumb along it as you lean against the wall with Judith. And remember, happier times. Simple pleasure of tea and scones. Bit of clotted cream, of course. And dream of a brighter day. When the days when you had the luxury of planning, of thinking ahead to what you could do and not know that every coming day would be dominated by a tyrant 1,000 miles away who decided to set the world on fire. You sit and talk. And sometimes just sit in silence. Two women just
Thank you.
enjoying simple companionship.
Judith is almost unconsciously reached in, found her knitting, pulled it out, and it's just been knitting pretty much this whole time. Not even real. I don't think she's even realized it, except when she went to light a cigarette. Went, oh, I have stuff in my hands.
It's a little rough, Judith. As we established earlier, your hands are shaking. Your loops are a little uneven today. But as you knit, as it always does, it begins to calm you. Your hands steady. You focus back in on the moment, on the sensation of yarn against your fingers, the cool of the metal needles against your hands. That smell, that woolen smell that's always so relaxing. Like, even now, when you pull on a wool sweater and you get that strong olfactory memory, it lowers your heart rate, calms you a bit. And in the midst of the bloodiest war that this world of ours has ever known, in the midst of an occupied country, on the brink of liberation, but still toiling under the jackbooted heel of the wickedest regime this world's ever known. In the midst of explosions and fire and head trauma, these two women find a moment of solace together in the dark. But there has been no solace for Helen, who has been moving through these tunnels for nigh on 45 minutes. Helen, you're swift. You are nimble, stealthy. You can move at pace without giving yourself away. But as you march through the dark, illuminating only what's in front of you with a flashlight, what is going through Helen's head?
Well, Helen knows it's a decent little trip to get to the boar, to see. So I'd say she probably goes for about 25 minutes. So like the halfway point-ish, thereabouts. And she's moving quietly, so she can keep her out. And then now that she's alone and by herself, this is when she's going to start processing things. I think she even, like, not sitting down, because she can't sit down. She has to keep moving. She can only take a little breather. So I think she'll put her back up against the wall. It's cold, it's probably damp. Turn off the flashlight, just close her eyes and just breathe. Do some breathing exercises for just probably about 2-3 minutes, just to let it all out and calm down.
Is she staving off? Like, is she actively staving off like a panic attack almost here? Like,
probably just not panic attack. Just kind of like when you've had a big day at work, and you just keep putting everything like, oh, I'll just deal with this later, and you put it in the emotions box, and then you go, all right, well, work's done for now. Let's open that up. Less of a panic attack, more just processing things, letting everything out that she's been like, we'll deal with that later. Because she feels a responsibility as the only, what in her mind is the only really non-civvy, especially of the ladies. Aleksi, she'd be like, okay, he seems to know what's up a bit. But as far as everyone else goes, she's the only non-civvy lady in the group. So she's got to keep that. She's got to be. She feels like she has to be a rock, kind of like someone who's got that cool, even temperament. And even in the field, even when she's with the group when she had her last unit, you can't be that emotional person on the battlefield. That doesn't pay well. So now that she's by herself, she's just kind of unpacking everything that happened in the town square. with that getting intercepted, everything that happened in the barn. That really got to her. And she was trying not to show it, but that really affected her. And just the mine exploding, having to snipe that guy across so he wouldn't get Verity and Mabel, just emotionally unpacking. Maybe she's staying quiet because she doesn't know again who's in the tunnels, and sound travels really well here. But there will be a few tears coming down as she just takes some deep breaths for probably about 5 minutes. Sleeve, wipe her face, keep moving on. And she's just thinking about the stuff. But she got her cry out. You feel so much better after a good little cry.
How often does she do? Is she a once a month crier, a once a year crier, a semi-annually crier?
like-
How often does she get these out?
I feel like she used to be much more of a crier before she signed up for the military, and then it was kind of those, well, you can't be. And so it's been a lot of whenever she's alone, which hasn't been often as a unit, and even when she's in the field in position sniping, she's not really alone. She still has a job to do. She's still on duty. So probably once every few months, she's able to find a time to get it out a little bit. It's every couple of months. You know, you have that day off, or go in the bathroom, just cry.
The old shower cry.
Yeah, field shower cry.
I think, Helen, it's hitting you particularly hard right now because once again, you find yourself, as you always do, as you always have, alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's always you. It's always been you. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much thought, effort, preparation goes into protecting the people around you, they get hurt. They get captured. They die. And you don't. For some fucking reason. You just don't. And I think
She's got a lot of survivor's
Helen,
guilt.
I think so. And I think Helen probably thought for a minute back there when the tank round went off, the fire started, and then the bombs went up.
Oh yeah.
It was going to be, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
All over again.
She was first in the tunnel.
She always is. Always is. And as you walk down the tunnel, you've released all that pain for just a moment. You just like the valve that let off a little bit of steam.
Yep.
Just to keep you going.
The pressure valve went off, and then, yep, just tightened it back up.
Ratchet it back down. And as Mabel would say, stiff upper lip.
Mm-hmm.
You're steady now. You're always steady. It's something you learned about yourself. It's one of the reasons you're such a great shot. No matter how bad it gets, no matter how high the stress is, no matter how much adrenaline is coursing through your veins, no matter how many horrific images you have to see, and you have seen them over and over and over again. People you care about, people you served with, people you love. Dead, dismembered, burned, broken bodies. You don't shake. Helen does not shake. Your hands are steady, even now. As you walk through this tunnel, occasionally even feeling the naked tail of a rat against your ankle. That beam of light in front of you is stock still. Steady as always. The hellhound does not shake. And finally, after a journey that somehow felt much longer than before and also went by in an instant all at the same time, as your mind has simply been elsewhere, you arrive at the ladder. The tunnel is not collapsed. The ladder is here. For how much longer it's safe, you don't know. For how much longer your friends are safe, you don't know. But here you are.
And she's going to stand.
You can hear from coming above the trapdoor the sound of Madame Lemieux singing.
She's singing in French, I assume.
Well, that's the odd thing. No.
Oh. Oh, that's... Yeah, she's gonna stop at the bottom. She's been moving very quietly. And she's going to listen to what Madame Lemieux is singing, because it could be a warning to not knock on the trap door.
All right. Oh, welcome, Raiders. Thank you. You came in just a very intense moment. Thank you, Trolls Maiden. I hope I'm saying that right. For the raid, Helen is sneaking through a tunnel and is about to come up through a ladder into a secret resistance headquarters that hopefully has not been compromised.
Hopefully.
So, Helen, what I would like you to roll for me is reason observation.
Huh? Okay. Not my best, but I'll do what I can. Reason observation. Okay. I'm going to spend a momentum because I feel like
Very
that's... I feel like this is important because she's singing in English. And... Yeah. Okay.
It's not English. I didn't say that. It's not English.
Oh,
It's
she's not
something
singing in French. Okay, well, she'll try to identify.
I just said it
what
wasn't
language
French. Yeah.
It wasn't French. True. True. Okay. Do I spend? Do I give you threat? No, I don't give you threat. I don't do that.
Why not?
Focus. Because I feel like you have enough as it is with that one.
I dumped my threat to shoot you with a tank. I mean...
That's fair. You know what? This is the one time I'm going to give you threat, Colin, in this campaign.
Wow.
I want to hear... She wants to hear what's going on up there, because this is a very important time. So...
Yep.
And I don't have a great
right.
skill of this, because it's not sight, so...
I will
one.
take that threat. Thank you.
2 successes.
2 successes, Helen Phillips.
Oh, I do have a crit. You know what? Take that threat back. I'm going to spend that crit instead. Or that dice up there. Because I technically have 2, but 1 is not showing up on the sheet because the sheet's broken. So...
Oh, I see.
As per Charlie's words last week. So now it's accurate up there.
Gotcha.
There. Ha. Ha 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 ha. No threat for you today, sir.
Oh, just you. You know what I can do with 1
Not for
threat,
me.
Phillips. 1
Less
is
than you
plenty.
can with 2?
While true, irrelevant. So, you listen intently
Mm-hmm.
to what you know that voice to be Madame Lemieux's.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a tune, sort of jaunty, happy, almost sounds like a drinking song. just much too peppy for times like these.
Mm-hmm.
It feels extremely out of place. But it's in a language you've never heard in your life. You are hearing consonants and vowel sounds that are wholly unfamiliar to you. What languages do you know, by the way, Helen, other than English?
She's from New Zealand, so she knows English, and I imagine because of her time, I'd say that about 2.5, 3 years of the war was spent in Africa, she probably speaks a bit of Arabic, because a lot of time in Egypt and stuff. And maybe
You
like
never,
a few words in Italian, but it's very, very poor
Italian?
Italian. Because last
Didn't pick up
place
any
was
Maori
Italy.
being from New Zealand? No?
No, she was in a tiny sheep town. I don't think she picked up much Maori. Also, this is the 40s, so
True.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, it ain't
Unfortunately.
Maori.
Yeah. Or Arabic or Italian.
No, it sounds almost like you've heard from others. I mean, you know, you're a soldier in a Commonwealth nation. You're part of the Crown. You've worked with soldiers from around the British Empire. You've served. You've met some Welsh soldiers. It almost sounds like that. But not quite. But a similar kind of morphology to. I'm gonna say, yeah, with those. Oh, you got 2 successes also. I owe you a momentum.
Oh, thank you.
With those 2 successes, yeah, it has almost a kind of Celtic sound, like Welsh or the Irish language, or Scotch Gaelic or something like that.
And that's bizarre, because Madame Lemieux is very, very much a local, yes?
As far as you know.
Yeah, cool. I think that makes her instantly uneasy, and she'll probably sit there listening for a couple of minutes to see if there's any other voices that chime in or pop up, or other footsteps, or sounds from the main tavern area. Maybe it's a weird birthday party today from some weird Nazis. I don't know.
Some weird Nazis that speak Proto-Welsh.
Weird. Yeah, you never know. Could be something weird.
I mean, if there's one thing we can agree, Nazis are weird. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's on edge right now, so.
I'm not going to make you roll again.
It's the type of thing to do. Wait.
Yeah. Observe and wait for your opening. You sit and listen, struck totally still. And you hear Madame Lemieux singing, and you can hear the clacking of her boots. Boots. Heeled boots that she wears. Clacking on the floorboards above you. You can hear the bang of sounds like glassware and metal on metal, possibly a pot on a stove. She seems to just be going back and forth cooking, and then you hear another voice speaking in the same tongue. It seems they're having a conversation. And this voice...
Do I recognize this voice?
To be Gaston. Or Jack, if you prefer.
Yeah, Jack, who doesn't speak French or German, yet he speaks this. Okay, that's fine. That's cool.
And then a third voice. Jacques, the other fella who had been
Mm-hmm.
at the Black Boar. They're all talking seemingly casually. And then suddenly there is a sense of urgency in their voices. You hear a door open.
Uh-huh.
It goes quiet a moment. And you can hear someone speaking. Sounds like French.
Okay. But
But
it's in
it's
German, but okay.
whispered.
Uh-huh.
It's quiet. It's hushed, and you really can't make out what they're saying, but you can catch.
Well, she doesn't speak French anyways, but it sounds like French talk, so okay.
Sounds like Frenchy talk. It's quiet. You can't understand it anyway, but you're catching occasional words that you recognize to be French. And you hear,
Oh, baguette. Oh, yeah.
oh yes, baguettes, escargot. And
Mhm.
you hear the back door slam. And all of a sudden, feet moving quickly in the kitchen. They seem to be rapidly doing something and shouting, sounds like orders, commands, requests, what have you, to each other in this strange language you don't understand.
Uh-huh. I think that's Helen's opening, because, you know, if they got a bad news bears call, then she can just pop up and be like, not a good time? Okay, I'm out, bye. So I think she will, at this point, make a couple, like, back away quickly but quietly, and then step, and then the secret knock, and pretend like she's out of breath, like she ran here, like she wasn't just listening to all the stuff that was just happening, so...
And you hear all of this garbled back and forth between Gaston, Madame Lemiuex, Jacques, and then they all stop when you knock.
And I have a pistol in my pocket of my coat, because I've got that coat on, but I don't have it pulled out, I just have it in the coat, like my hands in my pockets, like, oh, it's cold.
And you hear...
Brr. I ran so far.
You hear Gaston say, in English,
Mm-hmm.
which one of you is it?
It's, Helen. Is this place compromised? The other place is. The safe house is
The
compromised. They blew it up with a
trapdoor
tank.
flies open as soon as you say it's Helen. The trapdoor flies open and Gaston reaches down and just, like, puts his arms around you in a hug. Oh
Okay.
my God,
All right,
you're
you
alive.
seem to be better. Okay. Yeah. Is everything
Come up,
okay
come
here?
up.
I look. Do I see anything rushed going on?
No, it looked like they were... You see Madame Lemieux has her hand inside the oven.
Ah.
Where that
good.
bomb
Yeah.
is.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Kiwi accent saved
like
the day.
Looked like she was getting set to blow the place.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, please, come up.
Yeah. Okay. Is this place safe? Is it been compromised? The safe house, the cabin,
We know.
They took a tank to it.
We just got word.
Oh. Okay. Wow, that got fast. Okay. Yeah.
We assumed you were all dead.
No, but we have some injured. Can we bring them here? Is it safe to treat them? Got like a broken arm and a head wound.
We don't know what else is compromised, but I there's nowhere safer right now. If you can get them here, we can get them on the truck
Quickly.
and get them somewhere else safe.
All right. Get everything ready. It should be probably about. I'll move quickly. About. Because it's like a 45-minute round trip, which we're a little slower because of the injuries and stuff. So she'll be like, and if she hustles them because they're already like halfway there, she'll say 30 minutes.
All right, that might be hopefully not cutting it close. Get
right.
going. We'll get this place packed up. We'll get the truck loaded. We'll get you all out of here.
All right. We'll knock the same knock. She goes down and she'll start running back to the group.
Yeah, fair. No time to talk about the hey, what was with the weird conversation?
No, because Marcel might know something too, and I can ask him on the way.
Good
He's
point.
part of their little group.
Conversation for another time. Yeah, totally.
She's by herself. She doesn't feel like it might be a good idea to bring up, hey, so were you guys speaking some weird language down there? No, I just ran here and I'm going to run back. It's fine. Yeah.
Shit, yeah. You take off at speed.
One of the Brits might speak Welsh. Maybe they'll know.
I can tell you for a fact that Verity speaks Welsh.
Yeah. We gotta get that
for all the good that does
treated. You can ask her.
Helen books it. And if I could just have Aleksi back for a moment, please, as Helen runs down the tunnel. Hey, Aleksi.
Hey.
You've been unconscious a while.
What haunts my dreams, Colin?
That's what I would like to ask you. When Aleksi stirs in bed at night, and I imagine he does, what does he see? What keeps Aleksi up at night, and when he does finally find sleep and respite, what keeps him from having a truly restful sleep?
Oh. Well, I think being the only other soldier besides Helen, he has severe PTSD, and since it's not something that's, openly addressed really at this point in the war, he very much has shell shock on top of it, being a demolitions person. So his issues stem from no retreat, line rushes, and basically memories of having to retake cities, streets at a time, block for block, and just making those desperate runs. And his memory tonight would be one of those charges, and he would have been the person not carrying the rifle this time. So he's running behind a close friend who, came from whatever village he was from, and they are making the run, and it's just his unit rounds a corner into a machine gun nest. And like Helen, he also has the sole survivor trait. So his memories are of being basically Helen, we have so much in common. This one in particular is basically his unit getting mowed down and his friend falling back and landing over top him. And so it's him being basically covered in the bodies of his units, almost buried alive as the Nazis are rounding up the corpses. And so it's him playing dead in this pit with all of the other dead Russians, so that they didn't bayonet him. Like he was lucky. Maybe the soldier had been slacking as they went and bayoneted all the corpses to make sure that they were dead, but he got skipped over because someone was being lax in their job and wanted to get back to resting or drinking. I was like, it was the third charge today. They didn't have anything on them. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, in Stalingrad, where both sides were so desperate for victory for nothing. A city that actually had almost no strategic value. Hitler wanted it because it had Stalin's name on it. Stalin wanted to keep it because it had his name on it. And for that pride, for those pride points, for that absurd attempt at humiliation by the Nazis against Stalin and the Soviet Union, you watched your friends time and again thrown into a human meat grinder. And you remember. You remember much too well what your commanding officer said to you. It's what every soldier in Stalingrad had beaten into their heads. Sometimes figuratively, and sometimes literally. You still think about it to this day, every time you feel fear gripping your insides. Every time you stare in the face of an enemy, someone who wants to kill you. And you feel that fight or flight. You feel that hit of adrenaline. You hear your body telling you, flee. Flee and save yourself. You hear your commanding officer, a real son of a bitch, that guy, this chisel-faced captain who would grab you by the ears and shout, spitting into your face, not one step back. You fight for every inch of ground. If they want it, you make them pay for it. But you never show your back to the enemy. You saw the deserters shot in the back as they ran. Did you ever do it yourself?
No, he knew his place, and after seeing the commissars open fire on them trying to return back to the lines, his unit got it quickly in their heads. Only forward.
Only forward. My question to you is, did Aleksi ever shoot someone who fled?
Yes.
Do you know who it was?
Because I want to give you that wonderful ammo. He's had to shoot people from his unit. Probably a promotion that he got, being one of the few people who survived a successful charge, and being put in that position another instance later. It would have been some new conscript who got sent over that didn't know what was going on, and so and they're in the middle of the charge and the person got spooked, and he not only did he turn and run, but he threw down his gun and ran. So it was a double offense. It's like, one, you're wasting materials, and two, you're running. And so Aleksi gave the order to stop, and he told him to turn back around, and the kid kept running and basically directly towards him. And the commissar had their weapon ready, but they were waiting to see what would happen. And Aleksi fired first.
The bullet caught him just underneath the eye. It was a good shot. He was just a kid. You would guess 16, 17? Fresh-faced private. You didn't know him. He had a funny accent. Country boy sounded like. Certainly not from Moscow. You only had one conversation with him, maybe two. But he was just a scared kid. You knew he didn't deserve to die. None of your friends deserve to die. No one in your unit deserved to die. But Aleksi, when you saw that young man's back, when you saw the terror in his eyes, and you saw that fear overtaking him, you didn't think of any of that. All you heard, repeating in your mind, was your officer. Only forward. Not one step back. And you did what that officer programmed you to do. And you fired. As you sleep on the floor of the sewer, these images rush back to you. You can feel the weight of those bodies against yours. And you were loaded up with all those corpses. Could have been buried alive. You can feel your chest constrict from the weight of those bodies. And you awaken now on the floor, gasping for air.
He probably doesn't shout when he wakes up, but he's just that startled awake, and he probably reaches for his sidearm with his good hand, and in Russian he just says, "Forward," and he looks around, realizing where he is, and he tries to get up onto his feet, and just stumbles
Judith,
back.
Judith will turn and gently restrain him, and in Russian say, "No, safe for now. Rest."
What happened? I remember we were surrounded in the explosion. Verity, is she all right?
She has a bad head wound, and your wrist is broken. Don't move it. I couldn't set it. We'll try to bandage it here again.
Okay. It's not the worst I've been in, so as long as we can set it before anything gets infected.
And she'll very gently remove his hand from his handgun with his good hand, and put the water. Yeah, exactly.
Let's
Put the water
just
bottle. Yeah,
Just put that down, yeah.
yeah. Just let me have that here to hold this instead. And she'll hand him some water. It's not vodka, but it's clear and it's cold.
Water is fine too. And you'll drink.
Helen's
cool,
going to
refreshing
see if
drink. Sorry, go on. Please continue.
She'll fill him in. Yeah, she'll fill him in that Helen's gone to the board.
Oh,
to
what
see
he's
if
missed.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they haven't come for us yet. That is a good sign. We just wait now.
Always the hardest part.
Yes.
And that, as you wait, the echoing words of your captain, not one step back, bouncing around in your skull still, as you have a cool, refreshing drink, Aleksi. Helen has just completed taking many steps back. And she returns.
she's
How's that for a
out of-
fucking transition? She returns.
We gotta move. Everybody up. Boar's safe for now, but we gotta get, Verity needs medical treatment. They got a truck. You'll be happy. You can drive that, right, Mabel? And then we gotta go.
Right.
I think she'll scoop up Verity.
I don't think we should throw her over someone's shoulder. Should we carry her a bit
No.
more flat?
I mean,
Oh, okay.
we don't have a stretcher,
Oh.
so...
Really are strong.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want
Can I make an attempt to try and at least splint Aleksi's wrist again?
Yeah, I think it's been enough time that you've calmed down. We established that you knitted. That helped. You've had some water. I think, yes, another roll is
Can
appropriate.
I try and help?
You certainly may.
Please.
It's your spanner, after all.
That is true. So, in theory, I might have a couple of spanners so you can put one each side because I think that's the best way to splint it.
Yeah.
Rather than just one.
Yeah.
So,
This is going to be a
Isn't it?
coordination medicine.
okay. Oh, my coordination is good. I mean, like, in theory, he's meant to be set before we splint it, but at least we're holding it steady, I think is what we're trying to do. So, coordination and medicine. Okay, well, medicine is poop, but coordination is pretty good. So, God damn it! I am rolling like crap today. Okay.
Oh,
I'm not helping anyone.
That was trash. Yeah.
It was trash.
All right. Yeah, Mabel,
I don't even have a spanner. So, no.
you have a spanner, but you are just trying to get your shit together and get gathered up, and you basically just don't have the time to dedicate to helping Judith with this right now. So Judith, you're on your own, 2 spanners and a belt. That's a sentence I just said. Go ahead. Roll coordination medicine, please.
In the corner. No, wrong corner.
Oh, other
That-
side?
yeah,
Yes,
That
by all
little blue
means. Yes,
D20
burn
in
it.
there.
All right.
Burning that.
Get you an
Yeah.
extra die. That'll get you 3. You got some. You have
Yep.
1 momentum if you'd like to use that also.
Coordination medicine. Yeah, I'm gonna burn it. So that's 4
All
die
right.
altogether.
You want to give me a threat and do 5?
No.
Somehow I saw that answer coming.
Did you?
All right, 4 it is. Hey, look at you!
Nice.
All right. That'll get you
Put that
2 momentum.
back. Yeah.
Give me that momentum back. Yes. Yeah, tell me, Judith. I mean, you've done this before, but how expert of a job is this, and how's his wrist look by the time you're done? And does it hurt him while you're doing it?
Oh, it hurts. It hurts, and I think.
Are you setting it?
Yeah, it is part of splinting it, because what she's done is she's taken the belt. Former paramedic, guys. Sorry, I won't go into too many details. But she's taken the belt and put the spanner right here, wrapped it around, and asked Helen to and told Aleksi to hold onto his elbow to help stabilize. And then as she does, she pulls so that it sets the wrist, and then starts wrapping the belt around the spanner and so that it goes in.
Almost like a traction splint on his wrist, like you're pulling it out and setting it.
Yeah.
I love traction splints. They were fun. They're the coolest instrument to use.
It does hurt.
Yeah, Aleksi,
I
how do you
imagine you
react?
give him something. I imagine you give him something to bite down on, since there's no painkiller still. So he doesn't scream in front of the 3 ladies, but he definitely bites down and grunts into it.
Again, Aleksi,
by the time it's
once
bandaged,
again, so concerned for the ladies
better.
and their delicate sensibilities.
No, he has to
Helen
remain
both.
tough. Yeah. Like, Helen pops skulls on the regular. Can't let them hear you scream.
That would be indecent. So yes, you bite down and into something, and
but by the time that bone
set,
pops back in and it's stable, it feels better.
All better.
A little bit.
Definitely
Not much,
feels
but it is
better.
better. Yeah, and she does lean in and whisper. It's in Russian. Thank you for doing what you could to help.
Thank you for fixing my arm.
And then she will
Marcel.
help him up to his feet.
Yeah.
Marcel rises to his feet, a bit groggy, but ready to go.
Helen
And
will do the.
Helen, you have Verity?
Yeah, she'll have Verity, but before she picks up Verity, I think she'll do that like right in Marcel's face to kind of like surprise wake him a bit, get him not groggy. All right, good, let's go, let's move. We gotta get out of here. Gotta get some medical attention, get on a truck, and go.
And you all start to run.
Marcel.
Yeah.
Do you all speak Welsh up there in the village?
Something like it.
What is it? Sounded strange. I just heard a brief snippet of it before I knocked at the door.
Not really my place to say. I think you should talk to Madame Lemieux.
Do I get, looking at this guy, does he seem scared to mention it? Or is he just, like, awkward?
No. Awkward. More like, oh, I didn't... It's not like he doesn't seem to have a face of, like, or an expression or a manner of speaking that's like, oh shit, you're not supposed to know about that. It's just like, seems like complicated topic. You might want to take it up with more the boss.
Okay, cool. Because if that wasn't it, she was gonna intimidate the fuck out of him. But if it's not like I'm scared, you should ask her so they can take care of you guys upstairs, and not me while I'm by myself down here. That's fine. Then she'll let him be. We'll ask him more.
I thought Judith was gonna shoot him. So you all. I'm just teasing you, Kat.
Not yet.
You all hustle through the tunnels, and Helen, Verity on your back. You hear the occasional groan in your ear from Verity. And you can even feel a bit of her eyelids flutter against the side of your head.
Mm-hmm.
and then go still again, as if she's struggling to regain consciousness, but not quite getting there. Aleksi, the pain in your arm has actually subsided slightly. You may reduce one of your stress from your tracker from Judith's work, and though that wrist is still very immobile and in a lot of pain.
It hurts
but
slightly less. Yay!
It hurts slightly less, and you feel a bit invigorated after the misery you just went through in your dreams, to at least have someone caring for you. Something that didn't happen in Stalingrad. Mabel, as you run, you still think back to better times. And your brothers. Your dad. And hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Judith. You never thought you'd actually care about the Russian, but here we
Soviet, he's not
are. Bolshevik. For
he might be Russian by the time.
Very true. For very unlikely allies, but allies nonetheless. And when you reach the trapdoor and re-enter Madame Lemieux's kitchen, Gaston, Madame Lemieux, Jacques are all standing about and greet all of you with just great enthusiasm. You constantly hear them say some variation of, "We thought you were dead." And they're just so damn happy to see you. And then Madame Lemieux sees Aleksi's wrist. And says, "May I take a look at that?"
Yes, please. I will be needing it, so...
She takes your hand in hers, places her other hand on top of yours, and all of you witness something very odd. As Aleksi's hand, from between the fingers, a blue light issues forth, illuminating the room. And you hear bone reset. And the pain in your wrist is gone.
Ooh.
And Madame Lemieux says, "I should explain." And
Does
that's
this have
where
anything
we'll
to do with the
end
not Welsh?
tonight. Might. That's where we'll end tonight. You can ask next time.
Yeah, just, do we?
Ooh.
Now I have to think how Aleksi handles witchcraft. Great.
Yeah, Helen's not ready
I hadn't
for
thought
this
about his
either.
reaction to witchcraft.
Thankfully, Judith took his gun.
She's a bitch.
Witch!
Witch, thanks for the arm.
Uh,
At least it's not a tentacle.
y'all, that was great.
That's true.
At least it's not a tentacle.
I
Yeah,
mean, we don't
that's
know
our
what the
worst
test
thing.
was yet.
Yep. Woo! I'm exhausted. That was some emotional energy. Good lord, fam.
Mm.
Yeah, all right.
good.
Well, let's talk about it, shall we? Let us take a minute now to go around, talk to our cast, ask them how they're feeling, and as always, I like to know, what was your favorite bit from tonight? So let's start. I think I started with Aleksi before. No, I started with Helen before. So let's start with Aleksi this time. Yeah, let's start with Rindis. What's up, buddy? How are you feeling,
Hey.
and what was your favorite bit?
Wow, this was intense. This was a great episode. I liked all of this episode. There was a lot of really emotional moments. I will say, I mentioned it in chat, but I like how Mabel is definitely not our spy and just took time to gather information about everybody during a wonderful heart-to-heart. And it was great. I really enjoyed that. I will also say I didn't actually expect a tank to show up.
Oh, you thought I was joking about that?
No, we talked about watch, there's going to be a tank out there that's just going to blow us up before the show started. We were like, there's going to be just a Panzer waiting out there, and then it showed up, and we were like, who called it? And we just everybody pointed.
So the other
it.
day in my server, Kat had said, whatever's coming, whatever's out there, I'm just going to shoot it in the face. And I said, Panzers don't have faces. And I wasn't kidding. Like, I'd already planned to put a tank in there, so that was on the agenda.
Well,
I didn't dump my threat for nothing, fam.
Guys, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad, because the original plan was Aleksi was going to have the music playing, and he was going to open fire to draw them in a little more, and he was going to be the last person down for that reason. But then you blew the whole place up, and I'm like, kind of glad I didn't stay. Like I'm glad you moved them inside, so it's like he still got to do his cool thing and then didn't get blown up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was wild. So your favorite bit was the explosion, or
no? My favorite bit was Mabel low key being the spy.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just a sweet, innocent cinnamon bun, and we can't suspect her at all.
So, what are you doing this week, Rin? Where can we see you the rest of the week?
Unfortunately, we will not be playing Vampire the Masquerade tonight. Somebody has a stomach flu, and Cadence wants to get caught up on some rest, so I'm just going to make the executive call to say that is on hold. We also have our Monday game on hiatus until the start of next year, just because holidays are too rough for me. Tomorrow, I'll be playing iHunt. Thursday, that game is also on hold because it's my sister's birthdays. They're 2 years and a day apart, so we celebrate them together. So Thursday, I'll be out with family, so we won't be playing our Scum and Villainy game either. We have nothing on Fridays. Saturday, we'll be concluding Dragon Heist. There's a couple episodes of that left. And Sundays, we play Things from the Flood, and that game has gotten interesting. They think the girl they rescued from the Loop Foundation might be a Terminator, so we'll see where that goes.
Oh.
Yeah, just casual, might be a Terminator, and one of the people wants
super
to
cash Terminator. Hi. All right. You got some stuff going on. Let's go to your left, to Lindy. Helen, how you doing? What was your favorite bit, and where can we find you?
So good. Lots of feels, the emotional feels of this game. I loved it. I feel like we got a much better look at all the characters in this episode, except for Verity because she was unconscious. But, get a deeper delve into these snippets that we've been seeing, which was really nice. I like those kinds of episodes a lot. Yes, I was playing Helen Phillips. I really liked Mabel and Judith's conversation. Like, they had this nice, serious conversation, and they're like, yeah, and about that Helen, like, what the fuck, basically. Like, she pops heads all day long. It's kind of scary. Okay, like,
Do you love it like me?
how
Are
does
you a
she
player
deal
like
with
me
that?
where I always get a kick out of other characters talking about my character when I'm not in the scene? Like, I love
Uh-huh.
having people talk
Oh,
behind my
yes.
back in RPGs. I find it really entertaining.
I love it when just two characters talk about a different character, not even my own. I like to see the characters'
Yeah.
perspectives and opinions of that character. So, and the fact that they're like, man, she doesn't seem cold, but how else does she? And then you cut to like the corridor where she's like crying it all out, and you're like, yep, nope, that's how she deals with it.
I love that. I love
loved
that
it.
juxtaposition. Yeah, she's so tough, and she's like, ooh, power. Yeah, oh, that was great.
Okay, I'm good. I'll just put it all back in the box. I'll bring it out again later, maybe, if ever. So
feelings
yeah, I
box.
love that. Just disconnect from all of your feelings and don't deal with them till later. That's how you handle
If at
being
all.
a sniper to war. Yeah, if at all. That's how, soft sheep girl. That's how you deal with it. So that was my favorite part. I also liked Aleksi playing the Russian record right before we blew the house. So that would be the last thing that
Awesome.
they heard. That was great.
Best momentum spend.
So they're definitely going, why the fuck are there Russians here? Because no one else would play that. Just out of spite, no one else would play that. So yeah, you can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I'm addicted to tabletop RPGs. You can find me right after this, like immediately after this, like in 8 minutes, on LFM Network, GMing Degrees of Madness, which is a very comedy horror, emphasis on the comedy horror tabletop RPG, and I believe it's the penultimate episode? So, yeah, the finale should be next week, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. So it's very exciting. Lots of tense stuff should happen tonight. And yeah, also Mists of Ravenloft, spooky Ravenloft stuff on my channel at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then just other stuff throughout the week. I retweet the things that I'm in. Oh, and on next Monday, because I'm not going to have an opportunity to say this, Kat is going to be playing a Stille Nacht game on my channel, GM'd by Petra, and that should be super duper fun, so check it out.
Nice. And then, like, a few days after that, Kat's doing a Stille Nacht game on my channel, too, because she's a masochist. That's a lot of feels back to back. Godspeed. Wish you all the best. Above you now, Kate. Kate, how are you? What was your favorite bit, and where can we see you?
I am good. There were so many good bits. I agree that like sometimes just having some really character-filled stuff with a very little, like not too much action going on. Like there was obviously loads going on, but then it was like the quiet after the crazy storm. And yeah, and even just your questions at the beginning of like, tell us something we don't know. It was just great because it made me think about like, well, okay, yeah, well, and that it helps trigger more
Spoons.
ideas, and it's just really interesting. Spoons, there you go. Like, I'm so intrigued. But I mean, so yeah, so many good moments. I'm gonna say, I loved the heart to heart, but I'm gonna say that I loved when Aleksi talked to Judith in Russian when we couldn't hear what they were saying. That was a cool moment. I mean, so many cool moments, but I really liked that. Seeing that. Yeah, you can find me at Actors at Work on various socials. I'm really bad at using socials though, so the best place to find me, to be honest, is my Twitch channel, which is just Kate Madison. So come along to that. I stream almost daily. I will be streaming tomorrow, do a joint stream every Wednesday. I stream basically from about 4 p.m. UK time, so 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm also in a D&D stream that goes out every Friday over on Chaotic Neutral Games, and I think this week we might actually be fighting a pit fiend, so that's going to be interesting. So yeah, like yeah, so come and join me in various places. I will be around, but yeah, I spend most of my life on the internet, it seems, at the moment, so it's the best place to find me. All right, thank you. It was fun today.
Thank you. Wonderful. And finally, one of my favorite people, Kat. Kat, how you doing? What was your favorite bit, and where are you going to be coming up?
I'm emotionally compromised. But holding it together, like Helen. I think I'm going to go wander off someplace dark and quiet afterwards and shed a few tears. Just my favorite moment was when Judith got to ask Mabel, tell me about home. And then just sitting back and
I love that.
Mabel's been our still waters that run very, very deep, I think. And just listening to her talk about home was soothing and calming. And it was a nice break from everything else that was going on.
I love that moment. That was a great moment. And combining that with you knitting, which, we only established before the episode started, was just beautiful. I love that image.
Yeah. And I mean, Kate, I want to know so much more about Mabel. It's like the more you told us about her, the more I wanted to know, and the more I wanted to know, and the more I wanted to know. It's beautiful. Mabel must be protected at all costs, along with Rasputin. So where can you find me? My name, I'm at CLERICOFKORD. That's where you can find me hanging out in various Discord servers and on Twitter, because I drink, I roll dice, I play games on the internet with my friends, and I've got a lot. This week is a busy week for some reason. Tomorrow is Eberron 5e over on the Stalwart Initiative at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, This Is How We Roll at 7 p.m. UK time with some Shadowrun 6e. We left 2 weeks ago in our last episode with things going sideways really hard, and it's going to be interesting if the group recovers from that. Then let's see, Monday the 14th, back, as Lindy said, on her channel playing some Stille Nacht, which is only my second time ever doing it, and I'm really excited, especially because I finally get a chance to play with Petra. Then back here on Tuesday for our finale. And then, as Colin said, on the 20th, I will be running Stille Nacht on his channel with an incredible group of people. And I'm hoping to finally get some horror payback with Dawn. That's pretty much.
And me, too.
Yeah, that too. So, but looking forward to next week for the finale for this. I have no idea where this is going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's you, me, Jonathan Fry, Lydia, Prax, and Pope. So that's going to be a killer cast. I'm so looking forward to that. So, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Colin at COLINOMICON on socials. I have been your game master this afternoon. And for me, my favorite bit, I really loved all of it. There hasn't been a lot, this campaign has not had a lot of NPC work for me in terms of just like having NPCs that just converse and just kind of learn things about you. And I think the conversation that I got to have as Marcel with Judith was my favorite part. I loved that, discussing the nature of hate, essentially. And, it's sort of sharing some of my own private thoughts, but like about the thing that you hate about hateful people is that they make you hate also. They drag you down to their level. And I loved getting that out, shouldn't have to be strangling people on my 22nd birthday. It's not fucking fair. This shouldn't be my life. And yet, they've made it this way. I really enjoyed that conversation, and I thought that got great insights out of Judith too, and then it led into that great conversation with Mabel, and I love that. And yeah, it started with a explosion from a tank, and then it turned into kind of a talkie, which I wasn't really expecting, but I loved it. I thought it was great. So coming up this week, I'll be quick because I know Lindy's got a game to get to. So Friday, I have on my channel, twitch.tv/COLINOMICON, we have the GM Postmortem, where Lydia and I sit down and talk to game developers and fellow GMs about how to run a better game. And then the guest this Friday is Don. Jonathan Fry is going to be on. And again, apropos to what happened Today, the subject of the episode is basically the feels, the emotions and human element in games and how to draw that out as a GM. Yes, Linda, you did. Sorry. And then Monday night after that, Sunday on my channel is One Shot Sunday. This week is The Witch is Dead, which is a great one-page RPG by Grant Howitt that I am going to be GMing. That'll be funny and ridiculous. And then Monday night, back here on Encounter Roleplay, the finale of Song of the Deep. Last episode. Oh, I can't say much because Kat hasn't seen it yet. So, Kat, we can talk about it later. But last episode was great, and the next episode's going to be heavy. And then back here, guys, for our finale here on Achtung! Cthulhu. So that is me. Stick around if you're watching right now. We are going to be raiding. One last thing before we raid out of here. Helen has won the poll for the night of Who is the Spy. Congratulations, Helen. You're currently in the lead. You look pretty sus to me. So, yes, stick around. We are going to raid into LFM, and we're going to raid into Lindy's next game, Degrees of Madness. So, stick around if you need more Lindy in your life. But for now, that is all for me and all for the rest of us. And yes, we do always need more Lindy in our life. And so until next week, fare thee well, allies.